Hi there. Welcome to the Missoula Art Museum's virtual Art in the Moment. This is a program for those experiencing dementia and their caregivers. This is a recorded segment, so you are welcome to watch it again at your own convenience. My name is Grissom-Kiely, and I'm the curator of education here at the Missoula Art Museum. And I'm here with professional artist and teaching artist, Bev Glueckert.
Hi, everybody.
We're standing here in the Arresti Gallery at the Missoula Art Museum, where the exhibition Nancy Erickson, Reclaiming a Post-Nuclear Eden is on display.
And we're very excited to have you here with us today. And I want to start off by telling you a little bit about this artist, Nancy Erickson. For over 60 years, Nancy Erickson has been painting, drawing, and stitching extraordinary fabric constructions, quilts, paintings, drawings, all from her home-based Dancing Rabbit Studios. Nestled in the mountains overlooking Missoula, Montana, Erickson is surrounded by deer, mountain lions, wolves, and bears who have inhabited the area for centuries. Erickson, both an artist and an activist, is deeply concerned with climate change and the various environmental threats that animals and humans face. Her work explores the relationships among humans and animals, viewing them as equals as they compete for living space. Nancy Erickson holds a Bachelor of Arts in Zoology and an MS degree in nutrition from the University of Iowa. She also holds a Master of Arts and a Master of Fine Arts from the University of Montana here in Missoula. Erickson was raised on a cattle ranch in Livingston, Montana.
During all education and public programs, MAM reads aloud its land acknowledgement statement in honor of the land we're standing on. This was written in conjunction with tribal leaders. MAM sits on the ancestral territories of the Salish and Pend Oreille peoples, and we respect the indigenous stewards of this land. MAM acknowledges their rich cultures as fundamental to artistic life in Montana and to the work of MAM.
During the next 30 minutes or so, we will share a little bit with you about Nancy Erickson's exhibition here, Reclaiming a Post-Nuclear Eden, as a whole. So you'll be able to look at individual pieces of art from the exhibition. You will be able to reflect on the work and to respond. So please have paper and pencil ready. Nancy Erickson's work is often understood as sophisticated visual statements of environmental issues and activism. However, the title of this exhibition, Nancy Erickson, Reclaiming a Post-Nuclear Eden, is based on an insight that Nancy Erickson provides in her artist statement. Quote, "All the works are part of an ongoing series of visual narratives taking place in a post-nuclear time in an artist's studio," unquote. This lens provides important additional insight into the artist's practice. Placing her narratives in an apocalyptic environment allows Erickson to reimagine animal-human relationships at their most fundamental level. Nancy Erickson envisions renewal and rebalancing and reestablishing a sense of well-being over those species perceived to be threatened by climate change, habitat loss, or extinction. And likewise, establishing the hope that humans and animals can return to the equilibrium and the sense of interconnectedness that the artist values above all else.
Erickson's work stands out as unique among artists who utilize the quilt as a mode of expression, not only for her signature organic shaped format, but also her chosen subject matter and painterly approach. All of her artworks present pictures of complex animal-human interactions, even when the human presence is only implied. Erickson's artist statement provides important context. Quote, "All of the works are part of an ongoing series of visual narratives taking place in a post-nuclear time in an artist's studio." Unquote. A sentiment that takes on renewed relevance as many of us have sheltered in place during the worldwide coronavirus pandemic. A post-nuclear landscape and a pandemic quarantine are seemingly unrelated, except that both backdrops, real and imagined, are arenas where we are able to give voice to our fears, consider that which is fundamental, such as family, food, shelter, supplies, and health, with heightened awareness. And as I suspect, Erickson's motive is to reflect our collective choices and actions. Erickson is a staunch activist, taking part for years in awareness building and protest movements throughout Missoula, Montana. As we mentioned, home of the University of Montana, long considered to be an enclave of liberalism, or by some accounts, socialism and even communism. She was a dedicated climate activist long before the term entered into common usage. The connection between humans and other animals is always at the heart of Erickson's artwork. She has consistently been a voice of concern for those species threatened with habitat loss, climate change, displacement, and extinction. Her home and studio in Patty Canyon lies on Missoula's outskirts, adjacent to large tracts of national forest, a location that inspires her art making through backyard wildlife sightings, frequent hikes, and the ability to meditate on the persistent threats of logging and forest fire. Erickson's art features a number of distinctive animal protagonists, beginning with a pet rabbit who was the star of a series of acid rain quilts. A long-standing series in the 1980s features the capybara in a variety of ridiculous circumstances. Capybaras, which are large rodents related to guinea pigs, are prevalent along South American rivers. When asked about the frequency in which the capybaras appear in her pieces, Erickson describes her fascination. Quote, "I think I was attracted to the inherent humor of the situation. They are the world's largest rodent. People say that they have an unpleasant smell and they tolerate humans well." End of quote. In Erickson's series, capybaras appear in profusion and seemingly run amok, like tribble balls of fur in the well-known Star Trek episode. In other words, Erickson's pieces are populated by mountain lions, polar bears, and wolves, species in peril as a result of encroachment, habitat loss, and human interaction, or who find themselves at the center of human controversy related to reintroduction, hunting, and extinction. In the late 1990s, Erickson began situating her bears in large caves. Erickson has long admired cave paintings, especially at Chauvet-Pont d'Arc and Lascaux in France, as part of the continuum of art history, but also of human evolution. Here, the bears explore the recesses of the caverns, delighting in their discovery of elegant, grandiose depictions of cave bears painted by long ago inhabitants. Erickson's portrayal of the bears discovering images of themselves is a playful meditation on art, ancestry, and origins. Erickson delights in the idea that humans come from animals, are in fact animals themselves, bound by a long, interwoven history where we have interacted with them, domesticated them, consumed them, and reckoned with them. She is especially inspired by the idea of a suggested social structure that places animals at the center of complex, interwoven relationships. In the case of another piece, entitled Felis Forever, a large mountain lion is adorned with graceful heads of cave lions, painted in red ochre, suggesting a lineage and connection that stretches back to the earliest reaches of imagination. Erickson was influenced by new scientific discoveries and research about the upper Paleolithic sites, humanity ancestry, and how art lies at the nexus of these histories. Erickson's concern for ecology and individual animals is expressed succinctly in her 2005 series celebrating the Tolak wolf pack. The Toklat wolves constitute the world's oldest known family lineage of any non-human social vertebrate. The Toklat pack was first studied in the Denali National Park in the 1930s by biologists Adolph and Louise Murray. The Murrays were the first to study wolves in their natural habitat and monitored the Toklat pack over several decades, watching their gradual decline. The last adults were killed in 2005, prompting Erickson's artistic response. Erickson created a fifth piece, the black wolf, in 2006, not depicted here in this exhibition. This black wolf, which memorializes the pack with the epitaph, Toklat Pack, 1930 through 2005. Erickson related their deconstruction as a family as emblematic of the many threats to one of America's most iconic animals and wilderness areas. Erickson's imagery is replete with the signs of chaos, either the aftermath of some catastrophe or harbinger of impending doom. Her radical compositions destabilize the viewer. Her use of color conveys urgency. Her interiors are filled with upturned lamps, broken doors, swinging chandeliers, cracked foundations, shattered wood, and collapsing buildings. Her exteriors depict flames, erupting volcanoes, clear cuts, forests, lava, explosions, and other disasters caused by humans as well as by natural events. Placing her narratives in a post-nuclear environment is an artistic device that allows Erickson to reimagine animal-human relationships at their most fundamental level. Apocalyptic and survivalist fantasies, as well as Erickson's imagined animal-human origin, are a way to envision renewal and rebalancing. Historically, apocalyptic depictions and descriptions have helped articulate collective anxieties as a warning or usher in spiritual salvation or utopia. To set her narratives in a post-nuclear landscape exemplifies Erickson's desire to reestablish a sense of well-being over those perceived to be threatened and establish the hope that humanity can return to a harmonious equilibrium and sense of interconnectedness.
Okay, do you have your pencil and paper ready to make notes or sketches or doodles? Begin to immerse yourself in this artist's concern for humanity and for the animal world and the planet. What do you notice? What do you wonder? Imagine that you are an inhabitant of this post-nuclear aftermath and notice the conflicting dialogue between the whimsical color and forms and the underlying threats. How is Nancy Erickson using artistic choices to reflect our collective societal choices and our actions? Isolating the animals in cutout form with very little background and sometimes separated from one another, Erickson expresses concern about habitat loss, change, displacement, and extinction. How does it feel to see the gentle colors of nature overtaken by bright neon colors? What might Erickson be trying to convey through this? Is Erickson's imagined world so far from reality? If these animal protagonists could speak, what might they ask of us? And how might we answer? Close your eyes and notice what struck you about this piece. Our time has unfortunately come to an end. But if you press pause on the image in this video, you can continue to see Nancy Erickson's artwork, and you can continue creating with your pencil.
Thank you so much for joining us today. We hope you'll return to MAM's upcoming Art in the Moment on the first Monday of each month. The next one's scheduled for Monday, April 5th at 2 p.m. on our YouTube channel. Please remember that the museum is open Tuesday through Saturday from 10 to 5, and you can view this exhibition in person. And the museum is free of charge, and masks, as you see us wearing today, are required. So I hope you'll join us. Thank you to Montana GEC at the University of Montana for sponsoring Art in the Moment and for continued support of Dementia-Friendly Missoula and the Missoula Aging Services. This presentation is being recorded by Missoula Community Access Television, MCAT, as part of the Media Assistance Grant donated to MAM by MCAT. Thank you.
Thanks, everybody.